Hi, I'm Mike of Neil Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. This is Steel Snake 4. And it is early Mooner morning. And we're about 700 meters away from our actual target, which was the Munhopper and the mining base, but never mind. So Arnica Kerman's very happy to be on the ground and not deceased. Can't say as a blamer. Now I don't think she's going to be able to climb down, because I suspect she's going to get stuck between these two things. Oh, in fact she's falling. Oof! Going to have a word with health and safety about that. I have basically had a bit of a change of heart about what I'm going to be doing. Let's move. Hop sideways a little bit. Because originally the kind of plan, such as it was to have Stelelia here. So Arnica, I do apologise. To have Arnica here, join up with Stelelia and go into the Munhopper 3 and Munhop around and look at biomes and all that kind of stuff. But what I really wanted to do was, in fact, get a bunch of science from. It's currently all on the mining station, actually. But to get the science from there and take it back. But the basic problem is that I can't selectively take only the science that, at least I don't think I can. I want to only take the science that try not to crash into the ground. I want to only take the science that hasn't been turned into data yet. And there's not a method of doing that. And I've got 83 experiments on the mining station right now. Which is a lot, you know. But some of them have been turned into data, which I can then turn into science to be transmitted, and some of it has not been turned into data and can't be turned into science and transmitted. And so that's a bit of a pain, really. Am I really ridiculously far above the surface? I am 35 meters above the surface, which I do not need to be. I'm going upwards, in fact. I am not flying the most efficiently. Anyway. Let's bring up my... Slightly ridiculous that I can bring up stuff like this. Whoa, why am I going sideways? What? Why did I suddenly start going sideways? That was really weird. I can bring up the Kerbal engineer panel, even though you can't normally. Yeah, there is no Kerbal engineer stuff. Arnica's not carrying Kerbal engineer, but I can bring that up because I've got a fully upgraded tracking station. I think that's what causes it. And what I was hoping for was a suicide burn thing. But apparently you don't get that when you're an individual Kerbal. Which admittedly makes sense. It does, it makes sense. I'm about to crash into the ground. I don't want to do that. Okay. That could have been a lot worse. My horizontal speed is hopefully low enough that I'm in fact not going to just skid, because I've lost a Kerbal to that, much to my aggravation. No, okay. I've now completely forgotten what I was talking about. Yeah. What I want to do is, instead of getting absolutely every single scientific experiment, I want to only take the ones that don't need to be transmitted and can't be turned into more science using the research lab. But I can't do it. I can either take all the science or I can take none of the science. So I'm kind of changed my mind about Arnica here. Grabbing science off the... Yeah, I was going to take some of it back to the steel snake, send the steel snake back, because I want to send the steel snake back. I don't want it sitting here within physics range of everything else, being yet more parts to break the my frame rate. My frame rate's really bad at the minute, and time is just taking a long time. So you can see with that little clock, if you're in high HD anyway, that little clock is taking ages to... come on, you can do it, It's taking ages to click over each second. So each second is taking 4 or 5 real-time seconds to function, which is just ridiculous. Maybe I should get a rover. But of course the rover is just going to add to the part count. What I should probably do, and I think what would probably be the smartest thing to do, is get another scientist here, a junior scientist, a scientist who has no stars at all, because I don't need a scientist with any actual experience on the Munhopper. I don't need that at all. It's entirely fine for... I mean, all I need is someone who can work the experiments and can take data and can reset goo and materials bays, and a starting out scientist can do that. Arnica, meanwhile, has 2 whole stars, and she's thus better off in the research lab, turning more data into science. That's where she's most useful. According to this, I'm less than a meter off the ground, but my shadow's way over there. The sun must be really quite low. See, I'm going only at about 4 meters a second, 4.5 meters a second horizontally. I could probably do with going faster. Let's go a bit faster, because I'm still 400 meters away. It didn't look that far, but that's because I'm actually over a ridge. So, with all that, having said all that, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get Arnica over here. I'm going to get... she's going to meet up with Stellilia. She's also going to grab some of the science data that's actually on the Mun station itself. The mining station itself has got a few scientific instruments. I'm going up again. I'm doing that again. I'm just not paying attention, so I'm going up, 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 up. And I need to be cautious, because as I start coming down, 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 I wasn't even going down. I was still going up. Good lord. Yeah, never mind. So let's just maintain our height. It's actually quite hard to do until I get a good solid reference off. No, I'm not over ridge at all. I can actually see them. What am I talking about? Huh. Distances on the moon are on the actual moon apparently are quite difficult to cope with as well. So she's going to grab. Finally, finish the sentence if I can. She's going to grab the science that is on the actual mining station itself. Going to go into the station. Going to grab. Well, she's going to go. She's going to grab that science. She's going to go into the station, and then she's just going to help make science happen. And then I'm going to fly the steel snake out of here, which is going to be practice. I want to practice more mech jib stuff because it's kind of interesting. I want to practice things like getting back from the mun and stuff like that. If I ever do, what I really want to do is create a sustainable method. I mean, I've got millions and millions of Kerbal bucks, so it's not that important. Nearly 13 million Kerbal bucks. It's not that important, but you know, I'd quite like to make something sustainable. So, you know, theoretically make things that refuel from here and can just shuttle backwards and forwards. Let's go a bit more this way. So, anyway, I'm going to send the steel snake back, really just for practice. It's not even going to be taking any science with it unless I can find some clever way of only taking the science that can be converted into data. And then I'm going to bring like a 0-star scientist. I'm going to bring a 0-star scientist over to sit in the Munhopper with Stelelia, and the two of them are going to go off and have biome adventures, and just drop back every so often to drop off some science. Oh, we're getting close now. That's good. And that's going to be the plan. I thought I was going to be doing a lot of that in, you know, like sending the steel snake back in this episode, but it's taken a lot longer to actually get here than I thought it would. So if I clear a few bits and pieces out of this area, see, my problem right now is the part count. My computer really does not like having this many bits all in one place. You know, the mining station on its own is about as complicated as the Munhopper. And I've got this thing here, which is my sky crane. That's sitting there as well. And I've got my original Munhopper-esque design, which is the Mun Rover 1. And they're all together. And now I've got the steel snake, you know, back the way. And they're all in a very small area, so the computer has to make them all work all at the same time. And the poor thing's getting quite the workout. Which is a bit of a pity, because I like the idea of making an actual facility. With the Kerbal attachment system, you can start to do that. You can actually attach things to the ground and build things. So you could even make like a landing platform. And there are other mods you can get which add things like habitat, you know, modules. So you can have things where you can, you know, like you can have hydroponics bays where you grow food for your Kerbals to eat. So it's not completely ridiculous that these Kerbals are just sitting here day after day after day, year after year. You know, there's actual, you know, food and stuff to be dealt with. Move over a bit this way. So you can see, yeah, the frame rate is really quite slow. I don't believe it's a memory issue. I think it really is just my computer's not happy having to deal with all of these bits and pieces all at once. But I would love to be able to make some kind of working facility here. I mean, maybe when KSP 1.1 comes out and it's all Unity 5. There's Stelilia. Hello, Stelilia. Right, where do I want to go? I want to go over this way a bit because I want to grab some science from... Or have I got all the science? I can't remember. It's a lot easier to pilot the things when you have a nice solid point on the ground to base your motions off. Right, don't run into the solar panel. I think we might be hitting a bit hard there. Yep, thought so. Whoa! Oh dear. Don't bounce too high, don't bounce into the solar panels. Don't bounce into anything. Nuts. Ooh. You're right there. It's very, the problem with the frame rate being so low, it's really hard to accurately judge things like speed. Am I going to have to walk around that solar panel? I think I am. Actually, can I? Right. Oh, I can retract it. Let's retract it. I can always put it back when I'm done. Excellent. Apart from anything else, that opens up access to the science panel. There we go. There's more than enough science panels on this to, because the whole point of this second module was to provide more solar panels. There we go. So I can take some data. There we go. Oh. I don't think I can actually process it in the lab. Am I not close enough to grab the data there? There we go. We'll go there. Bash into the light, I think. That's what's going on there. I clearly designed this before thinking about, because I mean, I've made a point ever since then of making my instrument panels accessible by EVA. So that's all good. I'm just sure I'm going to need to take the data again. Oh, I'm an idiot. So I have to go back here and do the same thing again. Whoa, bonk. Well, there you go. Can I take that data yet? Nope. I have to get quite close. There we go. Nope. Cancel. Yeah, so I've made a point of being able to, yeah, access all the scientific instruments from EVA. So probably I might even want to get Stelilia out here with a screwdriver and put all the fixtures and fittings down the bottom here. Alright, let's try this. This is going to be, yeah, without smashing into things, hopefully it's going to be relatively easy. Of course, Stelilia is actually standing on the, you see, it's very easy to go a bit rapidly. Don't smash into the solar panels, they're very valuable. And don't smash into Stelilia, she's also very valuable. So let's land there. Oh. So I reckon there we go. Oh, let's slide down a bit. There we go. Whew. Hey Stel, don't mind my butt. Right, I'm just going to very quickly. I'm just going to very quickly check to see what. So I'm getting. I'm going to see what difference Stelilia. Sorry, Arnica. I do apologize. What difference Arnica is going to make? Because we're getting 4.3146 science per day now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Didn't mean to hit escape. So now I board. Now I board. There we go. And now we're getting 7.3 science a day. So she's added quite a bit. So having her on board is actually pretty cool. I do also have this module here. I don't know if I transfer... Go away, you. Okay. I seem to only have an option of having one of these open. I can't actually turn them off. I've got this hitchhiking container, so I can put more people in there. I don't know if I can shove more scientists in there and get yet more science out, but never mind. So now we've got more science in here. Ooh, I could put a whole 8 extra data in here. But there's now 95 experiments in there, and I really want to have some kind of facility to be able to sort through these experiments. So what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to grab Steel Snake and I'm going to send it back home with no extra science in it, but it's going to be a practice for recovery later on. I'm not going to send anyone back. Ultimately, I want to send another scientist over, and ultimately I want to find some way of another scientist to go with Stelilia and go off adventuring in the Munhopper, and ultimately I need to find a way of separating out science, so I can send science that I don't need anymore, and I can send that back finally to Kerbal for all that sweet, sweet science. So that's going to be next time. Thanks very much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Come visit nearlylife.dice at nearlylife.dice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Find us there, and until next time, reach for the